speak the word, we are aligning our energy system with divine spirituality, with our inner Christ. And that it really is a part of the creative process, is speaking the word. On the back, if you remember, again, if you were here last Sunday, or refresh your memory, if you're just getting one now, on the back at the bottom, there's a place there for your commitment to manifesting your good. And my invitation to you is to, as we did in prayer today, as we did in our meditation, to open to what it is that you would like to manifest in your life this month. And it can be anything. It can be sort of a global idea like peace, or it can be for yourself, for other people, or for the world, or it can be a very concrete thing like, I'm ready for a new of what? A new job. All right. What do you? I wonder what Sarah's looking for. Anyway, so yeah, I'm ready for a new job. It can be, anywhere in between. So to see what it is, and it's okay, whatever you get, and then keep it simple. Every day, just read this brochure. It won't take you very long, and see what it means to you. And you can do the steps if you want to, but just read it, and it will make a difference. You'll be amazed at what happens for you because you're engaging your spiritual life. Good deal. All right. So, all right. In the Unity Youth Department, this is a little story. This isn't true. I made this up. Actually, I read it, but I made it up. Okay. So they had been teaching a lot about in the Bible, about the kings and queens in the Bible, and about how powerful the kings and queens were. Be teaching the little children and talking about the kings and queens, and King Ahab and Queen Jezebel and Queen of Sheba, that's right, the Queen of Sheba, and all these different ones, and the kings, and all this business, and been talking about how really powerful these kings and queens were. And so the teacher's going on about this, the youth teacher's going on about this, and then the teacher says, we know that those kings and queens were very, very powerful in those days, but there also was a higher power. Can anybody tell me what it was? And one little kid got really excited, and he blurted out, yes, aces. We got any card players out there? Okay. All right. Okay, you have to think about it. Okay. Anyway, there is always a higher power at work. No matter what hand you have been dealt in life, there's always a higher power, and it is higher than aces, even though we like aces when we're playing cards. Right? Okay. But there's always a higher power. There's always that spirituality that is at work in our lives. And like Sharon was singing about, sometimes, though, we get to that place in our lives where we're just thinking, if I can just make it through this. Does anybody ever do that? If I can just make it through this one, right? Whatever it is. Make it through this, Thursday. Make it through Thursday. He's trying to make it through Thursday. Okay. Tell us. No, we're wrong. Okay. Make it through this part of the week. Make it through this illness, right? Make it through this financial crunch. Make it through whatever it is your child or grandchild is up to that's freaking you out, right? Get through this stress. And it's okay. I mean, that happens. It's okay. That happens sometimes. It's part of the human situation, is that sometimes we do that. That's okay. But when that becomes a habit, when that becomes kind of where we're living most of the time, or a lot of the time, when it becomes sort of like, I'm just sort of crossing my fingers and hope I can get through this, we're missing out, right? We're really missing out, and we are like the little boy that walked around. He was living in poverty, and he walked around, and he had some tiny little rocks in his pocket, and he had found those rocks in the dirt around his home, and he and his friends like to play with them sometimes. They'd sort of play sort of a game of marbles with them or different things like that, and they were always wishing, oh gosh, I wish we didn't have to live in such poverty. I wish that we could have more in our lives. The little boy grew up and became a man, and went on and still kind of felt like he wished he had more in his life. Those rocks that he had kept in his pocket, for some reason he decided to keep them, and he didn't know what it was. There was something about him that was kind of different, but he didn't know what it was. So anyway, he had kept them all his life. He'd put them in a little bag and put them away in a safe place, and when he passed away and his adult children were looking through his things, one of his adult children that had gone on and knew a little about the world and a little bit about life got him out and was looking at him and thinking, why did Dad save these? Why did he put them in this bag and save them? And the son was looking at him, and he said, oh, good grief. These aren't just rocks. You know what they were. They were diamonds. They were diamonds in the rough. All they needed was somebody to recognize them, to polish them up, and to put them in circulation, right? And the problem would have been solved.